Alright, it is 9:29 a.m. I want to make this quick. It's going to be morning panic bounce plays. Maybe with LCLP is not really the best stock. NLST is going to be one. FERN is a potential as well. NAOV, XBIO, these are listed stocks, so I'll be a little more cautious. That's where I'm at the moment. Let's see if we get any morning panic bounce plays I might be able to trade. Okay, it is 9:46 a.m. so this is super unusual. I thought maybe a short had to liquidate their position. Maybe they are shorts that are covering their positions right now, but this thing had news that they're going to cancel the reverse merger. I did try trading this and I was not successful. 934 was my entry right here because, you know, was it really 934? Yeah, 934.57. Anyway, I was in the trade right here and my entry was 184, so actually not a bad entry. I was risking basically 181 or 18 cents give or take, and I had a call losses because it didn't work out. 937 was when I got out, so about 3 minutes later. Why? Because it cracked this level at 18 and I put a market sell order. I wasn't able to get executed until 175, which really wasn't, you know, the worst thing that could have happened, because I mean, you know, I did at least try cutting losses immediately. It did downtrend more, but yeah, this is super unusual. It's not like, oh, I can't believe I missed out, look at it. No, this thing was news, and this would have been super unusual too. That's a pretty impressive bounce back though. I guess I might consider this for like a dip towards VWAP setup. Yeah, no. Had I have, no. Had I have been like a dumbass, didn't cut losses, and I'm just like, let me hold and see what happens. Oh yeah, that was a good trade. No, that would be stupid. This is super unusual. That's a very impressive spike though. I was not going to get in on that because first I thought, you know, maybe it's just doing the thing with the morning panic bounce play. It eventually found the bottom, but then I thought this is a little too much when it was like in the 20s, right? How it just got to VWAP like that easily. It's still spiking, so that's pretty impressive. I did try FERN, and this one was like a dip towards VWAP setup because we had this nice spike, I guess from 24 to 26, and then it drops towards VWAP. The idea is that it holds the range and VWAP, and then I sell into a spike, and this one actually worked out. 24 to I guess 25. It could be better. I accidentally went in too small. I've went in too large before, but not too small. In this case, it helped out because it meant I only traded a tiny freaking $49 trade. But you know, in theory, I'm in the full position, and this was a good trade attempt nonetheless. I was in at 940 right here, and my entry was at 248, so that was a good entry again at 940, right? Even though it doesn't show right here. I guess that's when I placed the order and I got executed later. No, I guess I got in at 940, 248, even though it doesn't show on the charts. Probably because my freaking position was so small. I'm not extremely sure. Oh, I guess it has a lot of range actually. Yeah, I got executed there. I had to cut losses quickly, 942, when it had this retarded wick, and I don't regret that too much. I sold at 244, which was right here. That looks horrible, but it's actually just like a very small loss in terms of percentage, and you know, that is retarded that it just had a wick, you know, just to do that, and then it comes back. Maybe I'll just take a break. Maybe it's not, you know, my day for trading stocks. I don't mind, you know, and the way it just turned around here, that's pretty cool. I guess I'll watch this again for a dip towards VWAP, but I'll be very cautious with it. That's really all I got at the moment. I'm not gonna, you know, beat myself up. Nobody's freaking after me in the market, but you know, it does piss me off a little that it just had this retarded wick and it just came back like that. But I guess, you know, at least they taught me to cut losses quickly, and then that was really good in that sense. Alright, it is 10:22 a.m. and I did have a morning pending bounce play with FER, and I happened to catch it while it was starting to do the setup, the downtrend. I saw the big volume candle here, and my entry was at 10:05, which was right here, 10:05. So in theory, we had the big volume candle here, consolidation candle in theory, and then it kind of went back below the level. It cracked under this 204 level, but basically I was in it at 204, risking, I know it's not, I was risking 2 pennies. So my risk was 2 pennies. I was in at 204, and I sold at 213, which was right here at 1009. It's actually not that bad because, you know, 1009 was right here. So I actually did wait for this thing to make an uptrend, and it did get as high as 220. It's not like I sold here at 213 while it was still uptrending. I actually let it get to the high. So this was actually a good trade in that sense, because I just traded by my rules there, and I sold at 213 because I didn't like the price action. You know, it seems like it was going to turn around. I wasn't trying to lose my profits either. And it did downtrend again. It did make, I guess in theory, a double bottom, but I wasn't here for that. I traded DPLS afterwards, and I would have liked it if this was a lower low. This one actually worked out that I had a big volume candle consolidation, then a downtrend. But I'll be honest, with like some of these stocks, like for example DPLS, I almost want to short it when it has like a big volume candle, because it just continues a downtrend like a whole lot more. It might not actually be a bad idea to try shorting, because they just seem to be so iffy and fake. And you know, if it wants to do that, I don't mind trying to take a short, but I'll think about it. Probably not, but it's actually something I might consider. Anyway, DPLS 1018 was right about here, and I didn't call the bottom, like I didn't get in here, but I did call the turnaround, the small turnaround that it had. I was in it right here, again at 1018 at 885, so right here, and it did do an uptrend, right? It did do an uptrend, but it was so tiny. And I said, dude, I'm not trying to play games. I'll take my profits. It wasn't able to crack this 90-cent level. Not 90 cent, this 9-cent level, which would have been super important for it to have broken out of. And it didn't. So I said, alright, I'll just leave it alone. You know, I'm good. I'm not trying to, you know, get a home run on this stock that is known to not trade very nicely. And this is the exception. I didn't want to trade this anymore unless it offered a lot of volatility. It did. I mean, you know, 11 to 8.6. You know, there is a lot of range in that sense. It's not like the other day when I traded it that it just had this baby drop. This could be the head of an inverse head and shoulders, but this thing might just continue to fade. I might leave it alone. NALV, haven't really looked at it. Maybe I'll make an inverse head and shoulders, but this is kind of sketchy. I probably won't, even if it looks clean. FER, and again did a double bottom. I was going for, you know, a lower low or a higher low, not really a double bottom, but that's fine. NLST, nothing here. Okay, yeah, it broke out of this 835 range. Nothing I want to do with it though. XBIO, nothing I want to do here. LCLP, I was looking at this if it could drop towards VWAP, but it hasn't done that, so that's where I'm at the moment. Maybe I'm down like $9. I'm not extremely sure. I don't think DPLS was very profitable. Just like the other day, DPLS, I don't know what Charles Schwab has with DPLS. You can see my entry was 885. I sold at 893, so it was a profit, right? I didn't sell for less than what I got in, but it shows that I lost like a whole bunch on DPLS, but that's not true at all. I don't know why it says that. Like the other day when I was trading it, it said I was up like a whole bunch too, so I'm not sure what the problem is with DPLS, but that's where I'm at the moment. Okay, it is 10:41 a.m. Yes, this turned out to be the bottom. Now, is it going to be an inverse head and shoulders? Perhaps I will be interested in that. Maybe if it drops to like, I don't know, maybe 88. I really can't tell where it could drop, if it's gonna drop. Ideally, I'll be going for a potential inverse head and shoulders. Very nice uptrend here. When was my trade? At 10:18? Yeah, I traded the move right before it happened. This tiny bounce right here. We'll see if it can do an inverse head and shoulders. It would have to drop for that to happen, and it's very likely it can do it. Alright, it is 2:49. I have been doing other things. I haven't really seen really interesting. One of these that are up on the day are SHN. In theory, it could have been a dip towards VWAP. This thing could make a nice run into the close. I guess I'll add it to the watch list just to see what it does. But there really isn't any like huge, you know, first day green day stock that is looking nice. LCLP, very funny that I traded back here, but this is not a morning panic bounce play. This is a morning panic that then had a bounce because of news, but that's pretty cool. There is nothing I'm interested in. DPLS did do an inverse head and shoulders, but it was very choppy. It first tried here and then it failed, and then it did it here in just 2 minutes. It did get from 87 to 91, but that was the most it offered. I guess in theory I could have considered this higher low setup, but sometimes this thing just does this and then it has a big tsunami panic. So I don't regret this one at all. FERN, this one had that double bottom. It wasn't like a big volume candle, but this is the setup I was talking about the other day, when it has a morning panic bounce play, bounces, it drops, and then it makes, in this case it was like a double bottom or a higher low, a lower low, and then it uptrends for much later in the day. And in that case, that's really nice because it went from 20 to I guess 24, so not really the best range, but not the worst either. NOST, I guess a dip towards VWAP, but I mean that's not something I would trade on this stock. It's not necessarily uptrending with that much percent on the day, so nothing here. Maybe this thing can do like a tsunami panic right here. I might be missing it in that case because I have to go and fulfill a bunch of orders. XBIO is nothing, and yeah, I guess I'll watch NLST just a little to see if it has like a big volume tsunami type panic. Other than that, that's all I got. I'll make an update when the markets are closed. Alright, it is 3:05. Just a quick update. It did do a drop towards 8. It just turned around really quickly. I didn't even see it when it was turning around. That was at 8:19. It's not really that incredible. I wanted something bigger. I mean, if it would have cracked $8, that would have been impressive. It could have maybe went for something like yesterday, maybe not as extreme, but still nice. We didn't get that. It just was a drop towards 8. Alright, it is 7:10 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I'm down like $5 because of that. LCLP had a bit of a range, a spread, which wasn't really that good and ideal for me. The only thing I could have done better really for that one is that at the time when it was having that drop, right, as you can tell, it actually isn't really that noticeable, but the bottom of the range, if I think I got it right, was 181, and that was where the wall of bidders were. What I could have done is probably as soon as 181 was being executed, if it, once it was being knocked out, it was showing up in the time and sales section right there, a bunch of red marks for 181. I probably could have considered cutting the trade right then and there, so I would be able to get an X at 181 and 180. I did get a partial fill when I was cutting losses at 180, but that was only 1,000 out of the 30,000 shares. The rest was at 175, and even though it wasn't too ideal, that's a good lesson. I could just risk the range at 181, even if it means it drops to 180 and then it bounces from there. I at least avoid a possibility that I get like a large spread, kind of panic where I'm not able to get the best exit. So that's a good lesson. I'll apply that just so I'm less likely to get in an issue like that. And maybe it wasn't even the best setup. LCLP because I don't think it was too far from VWAP when it was downtrending. 180 was right there, and you know, I guess it wasn't that bad because 19 was VWAP, so it could have been a lot worse. But I think I learned a good lesson, and this thing did turn around quickly. Perhaps if I knew it was uptrending because of news, I would have went in on this spike, but I wasn't in that. I didn't know that was the case at all. Maybe that would have helped me in that sense, but I don't regret that too much. My next trade was FERN, where I traded a mega small position. This was a dip under VWAP. It did work. I mean, it went from 247 seems like the bottom, and it did get as high as 25.5 if you want to count the wick, 25.8. But I got taken out by this stupid freaking wick right here. But that's alright. That was a good practice, I guess, cutting losses quickly. At least my size was like accidentally super small. But yeah, and then I traded the morning panic bounce play here. I got in at 204, 1005, right? And that was actually, I had a good entry there. And I sold at 213, which was good, even though I didn't get the very top. I waited for a top to form and then sell. So, I was able to get at least to position myself in a certain way in that I could potentially get more profits than me just selling while it's still uptrending and then it keeps going, and then I feel really stupid. So that was a good one there. I should have probably have considered trading that double bottom right here. That's too bad really, because this is again what I was trying to for maybe since last week really and the week before that getting better at, when it does a higher low, lower low. This one was a double bottom, didn't have a big volume candle, but this is something I want to get a lot better at. DPLS, the last one, I did miss the ultimate bottom. I don't remember the exact reason why anymore, but I think I went over it previously. That was a good attempt, and the trade was right here. I sold because there was a lot of topping action in DPLS. It isn't necessarily known to be clean. As you can tell, it just kept downtrending. I did miss this move right here, but even this move wasn't that much, was it? 84. That isn't bad actually. 84 to 92 isn't really that bad. I think that's 10%. About 10%, so it could be a lot better. It did uptrend later, but again, I don't regret missing this point because some of these they turn around very harshly. I guess at the end of the day, it still looks bad. I'll probably try not to trade DPLS just because it doesn't offer a lot of range and it's super choppy. I don't mind missing this one. FERN, this one's going to be very nice if it can continuously do, hopefully more clean morning panic bounce plays. NLST is trying to pick itself. I did see this price action. It turned around very quickly. I don't think I would have traded this. XBIO, nothing much. RSHN, it did not dip towards VWAP until here, but that wasn't really. That would have been super damn sketchy to be in the trade, at 7, 8, 15 minutes before market closes, hoping it's going to spike. And even though that did happen, I would not have traded this dip towards VWAP setup. And did LCLP ever do that? No, I never really dipped towards VWAP the entire run. So that's all I got. Just 4 trades. Could have went a lot worse. I think I'm going to be more cautious with cutting losses quickly. I probably won't trade LCLP anymore because to be frank, it never really had like a very clean uptrend like FERN. This thing LCLP looks a lot worse, so I'll probably try not to trade that one unless it looks just stupid clean. That's all I got. I think some good lessons were learned. I feel like today was definitely definitely better than Friday. I didn't have any completely stupid XBIL setups. This did kind of annoy me, right? This stupid wick, but that could have went a lot worse. That was still a good attempt to clean losses quickly. That's all I got.